Hey guys, welcome to Showstopper Sports. I'm the Showstopper, and I'm quickly recapping the Texas A&M Alabama football game today. I'm a huge Roll Tide fan. Roll Tide. I was getting fired up watching that game, especially when it was close in the third quarter when A&M took the lead momentarily. I was very stoked and rooting for Alabama to pull out this W. For me, the player of the game, bar none, was Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle for Alabama, number 93. He kind of set the tone for the defense and the whole game, how he was going to play in that first quarter when he dove over the block of the running back there for Texas A&M in the first quarter to sack Trevor Knight, and that kind of set the tone for how he was going to play. Then he recovered that fumble and took it in for the touchdown in the third quarter, and that was right after he had missed that tackle on Keith Ford, who ended up getting the first down, was kind of pumped up and fired up. A couple plays later, Alabama's in the end zone for their 10th straight game with a defensive score. That had me fired up. There's also, just real quick, and this shouldn't even be a thing, but Gary and Vern got on my nerves yet again, just how they're so biased, and for real, it's just against it's just against Alabama. We all know this. They even admit this. I saw him on Game Day earlier this morning talking about it, and he got some boos from the Alabama fans there at Bryant-Denny standing behind him. He knows that's exactly what's going to happen. There was a play where Jalen Hurts fell down behind the line, and they're trying to say it was number 10 running along like 5 yards in front of him that made him slip and fall. It had nothing to do with it. It's just the craziest thing how they do that. They're always trying to find something to fault Alabama. That guy, I don't remember the player's name now, but he did, number 30 for Alabama, hit the Texas A&M player on the kickoff, and I kind of thought it could have been targeting, but it wasn't. They never even looked at it, but they had to keep going back to that play, especially later in the game when they did call a targeting player, which was extremely obvious on Texas A&M. Just annoying stuff. I thought Trevor Knight played good, but Alabama routed him enough. He was not throwing like he normally did. And a couple of that time when he fumbled and then he ran out of bounds, you could tell the ball was slipping out of his hand that one time, which they recovered it. That was awesome to see. Jalen Hurts was great as usual. That 37-yard run in the fourth quarter was awesome, and just the moves he makes, he can cut like a running back. Reminds me of like a Jamal Charles. Now, I was saying this to my wife who was watching the game with me. I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Sometimes he kind of reminds me of more of an Alex Smith kind of player, a game manager, as opposed to like that superstar quarterback. He can throw it deep when he needs to, but his accuracy down the field is lacking, kind of like Alex Smith is. But Alex Smith can run. Alex Smith doesn't turn the ball over, and that's the best thing about him. This whole season through 6 games in KC, actually 5 games, he's only thrown 5 interceptions, or 2 interceptions, and 5 touchdowns. So he's not going to turn the ball over, but he's not taking huge risks either, and he can run. He's very mobile. Jalen Hurts is faster than him, but he reminds me of that kind of quarterback. Also very, very smart. Alex Smith is smart. So is Jalen Hurts. So to compare him to him is good. Alex Smith just hasn't won a Super Bowl, so I'm hoping that's something Jalen Hurts can win the championship for college football. Also, the game was close, but I think Alabama controlled it from beginning to end. They missed the field goal. They had that one at the very end of the first half where they could have attempted a field goal, got the false start, didn't kick it, and then those 2 drives, when you get down first and goal inside the 10, and you end up attempting a field goal, especially as good as Alabama can move the ball, they have trick plays, they have a lot of things they can do with a mobile quarterback, and they still end up with those field goals twice in the first quarter. That's not normal Alabama football, and I really don't give any credit to Texas A&M. I think it was some bad play calling on those 2 drives. You should have run the ball. I do appreciate a pass every now and then, but if you can't run it, if you're going to the side and you're trying to throw a pass, throw it out of bounds, Jalen. I say even when you're running the ball and you have a play where it's going to be a sweep, running back, wide receiver, throw it out of bounds. You're already outside the tackle box. Just throw it down, make sure it gets past the line of scrimmage. And then also the guy that was targeting, getting back to that real quick, who did get ejected for that, Johnson, number 6, twice in that first quarter, I saw him hand fighting with Calvin Ridley, and also I think with O.J. Howard as well. He was going back and forth with people. He was trying to get them riled up, and then he's the one who got the targeting hit, and that was a nasty hit that he took on him as well. So he totally deserved to get ejected from that game, and I didn't see any other player doing that. Also, so it was Ardarius Stewart when he got that 15-yard penalty. Man, we had to zoom on that, thank you CBS, multiple times, and to me, he didn't really do anything. And I'll be the first player as a true sports fan, as a football fan. I don't like taunting. I don't like trying to show other teams up. I don't mind a quick dance after a big touchdown in a big game. Obviously, you're a person. You're a human. You're fired up. You're going to do it. Even if it's the opposing team, I understand him getting fired up. I'm going to yell at him and say, sit down, but at the same time, I respect that. Also, one other quick note too, Eddie Jackson, the amazing kick returner and awesome cornerback / safety, whatever he's playing for Alabama, is out the rest of the year. That's very tough. I didn't really see a whole lot on that play that looked like he got hurt that bad. But unfortunately, it was something to where he's going to be out the rest of the season. If you want to look at more information, you can Google that. But I hope the best to Eddie Jackson. Hope he gets better. Alabama has a much-needed bye coming up next week. I'm very excited for that. I'm ready to finish out the last quarter of the season. Hopefully finish out strong, stay number one, and get ready to go into the playoffs and win this thing. All right, so I'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. Hope you enjoyed this. Check out my main channel where I do food reviews and other stuff too. Maybe a little sports on there too. The link is in the description below. It's the Showstopper Shows. So this is Showstopper Sports. I'm the Showstopper. It's good.